Behind the Cape. Let's start off with a movie that has not actually been announced yet, but Marcus has been anticipating for quite some time. And let's hope that they get the right director for it, and that's Nova.
Dog.
Nova is supposedly in development. And I saw the funniest tweet is they can't wait for the mainstream to finally get a hold of his full name.
No.
Richard Ryder. Yikes.
First of all, you already know what director has to do it. You already know. It's got to be Michael Bay. Y'all got to find Michael Bay.
Will Marvel actually go
whatever
find
hole Michael Bay is currently sitting in, drag him out. Tell him that Nova is available and just let him work.
Just let him explode stuff
and just
as he does.
Let him eat with those wide panning angles with the little gleam of light coming from nowhere.
A large truck just coming off of a freeway ramp.
Huge slow-mo explosions.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he does best.
Yes.
He doesn't have a plan for these movies, just explosions.
I don't care.
And
if the
CGI.
Nova movie just blow shit up.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like it's right in his alley. You ready to talk about the American Society of Magical Negroes?
Man, let's talk about that flopper.
Ooh. So I saw the Rotten Tomatoes numbers, and they were pretty fucking bad. And you found the box office.
We don't respect Rotten Tomatoes, but they were pretty bad.
30% off of the actual reviews, and then I think it was something similar, 37% for audience reviews. No, 57% audience score.
Which, I mean, is either here or there on how you interpret that. But there's no other way of interpreting of $1 million in your opening weekend.
That's terrible.
There's no other way of interpreting that. There's no jujitsu in those numbers.
No, at all.
I think Homeboy from the Oscars, and I'll talk about him more later, but the guy from American Fiction, the Jeffrey Wright movie,
yeah.
He hit it right on the nose, man. Like, there are black stories to be told that exist outside of, drug films or cop films or
slave films,
plantations, racism films.
Yeah.
Like people have a thirst for things in black media that have nothing to do with any of that.
There's plenty of black success films to be told.
Man. See, that's why they should have let Will win for Pursuit of Happiness. Maybe that would have started a trend right there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what we want to see.
Ryan Coogler would have saw that as a young boy, and T'Challa would have survived.
Yeah.
And T'Challa would have survived.
Yikes.
It all comes full circle, folks. You just got to pay attention.
Yeah, no. The American Society of Magical Negroes.
Of Magical Negroes. Like, Jesus Christ. Fam, first of all, it was poorly marketed as it was. Like, I would at least give them credit for a creative or a very risky concept, but marketing a movie to young black people in 2024 that is about powerful black people who use their powers to serve white people, but it's satirical, so it's funny. No, it's satirical.
It's funny because it's ridiculous.
It's funny because nobody asked you to make that movie. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Harry Potter, but all the black wizards serve white people.
Facts.
I'm not here for that. Nobody wants that. The attitude they had towards it in the lead up, the actors, I mean, kind of let me know that that's the way the movie was going anyways, because they were just like, oh, there was just so many people on the test screenings that didn't want to see themselves. I was like, okay, well, that pretty much tells me what I need to know about the fucking movie.
Gross.
All right, like, it's your very narrow or lackluster viewpoint of black people plastered out over this hour and a half long movie. Oh, by the way, it's offset by the classism and the racism overtone of the entire film. I was like, come on, man. And then you gave it all away in the preview.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole thing.
Like, why not show the magical Negroes doing something First of all, don't call them magical Negroes. Don't know why that was a terrible name. Don't know why that was necessary. And then number two, how about let the magic lead, and then let the kind of, not bait and switch. Don't straight up fool me, but let the kind of twist be, oh, you thought that they were powerful enough to get out of their blackness, like they can use their superpowers to get away from being regular black men in America. Even in the magic world, they still got to deal with it. If you're going to go that
you
route,
would have gotten a sale because I would have been interested, but then you would have pissed me off.
You just gave up the whole shit.
Yeah.
You just gave it all up.
Yeah. And that's why you got a million.
They're magical butlers.
That's why you got a million. Your favorite person in the world who talked about Harry Potter last week is now talking about living in America and doing your trash ass Marvel shows.
Professor Plum or Puff or whatever.
I don't even remember what her name was.
Pomona Sprout.
Yes, Pomona Sprout. Miriam Margolis turned down a role in Agatha because she didn't want to deal with you Americans in, was it Alabama? Georgia. Fuck that. You take your Marvel money and stick it.
But I don't know who's asking her to talk about this.
I didn't know her name.
Who is asking her these questions? Who is sitting her down for this interview? How did it get this viral? Well, I understand why it's viral. She's a character in Harry Potter and she's talking stupidness. But why is it so important that like a legitimate outlet is talking about this? Who gives a shit if she appreciates the job offer she gets, which she clearly doesn't?
The quote is so much worse. I just read it. I don't like America, and I didn't want to be in Georgia for 4 months. So I just said, well, I want £1 million. And they said, you can have $500,000. And I said, no, I don't want to do it.
Like, what kind of privilege you got to have on you to be like, oh, I hate your country, so pay me $1 million to be there. And then they offer you $500,000 and you say no.
No.
And you somehow think you look like the sane person in that situation.
Crazy.
Yeah, okay.
Especially when no one knows.
Okay. And that's the opinion that we should, we hanging on right now.
Yikes.
I know who we won't see in the Harry Potter reboot.
Facts. Let's move on to the NAACP Awards. Damson Idris, Gail Bean, a couple of actors and actresses who won awards.
Damson won
specifically for Snowfall.
Best actor, best lead actor in the drama series. Was she win Best Supporting?
I think so. Best Supporting Actress.
That's crazy. They snaked my boy Leon, but that's
a fact.
I fuck with Wanda.
That's a fact.
They snaked Leon out of Best Supporting for sure.
Agreed.
In terms of a character arc, he had the best one.
Did they win anything for the actual show itself? No. Nope, I guess not. But Gail and Damson won. That's the important part.
Shout out to the Snowfall mainstays.
Yes. Also, at the NAACP Awards was Jonathan Majors and Megan Good. And Megan Good was there because she had received a couple of nominations for a couple of different shows that she's been in. I know she was in Harlem. And I think she was in something else that had received an award. And so both of them had every right to be there. She has multiple awards and he's there to support her. And yet the reaction from so many different people on the timeline was absolutely ridiculous.
You know bitter folks and how they be.
Like, are we ever going to get over this at any point for Jonathan Majors? Or is it just shit on him until he goes out in oblivion?
I don't know. I think he should just live his life, take his fine ass woman and live it.
We still think he's a serial abuser, apparently.
Hey, man, I don't talk to people without common sense. So, and once again, there is absolute brain rot on these social media apps. So, like, I can't take people seriously when they say stuff like that. Like, yeah, he's a whole abuser. Why would you even have him there? First of all, I don't know if you know who's running the the NAACP. But I don't think you should be holding them to such the high standard as you do.
Sure.
And even at that, these are a bunch of rich folks handing around awards to each other to make themselves feel validated anyway. So it's really not that big of a soiree for him to not be able to get his foot into anyways. He's just as famous as any of them. His offense is a lot lighter than a lot of the offenses that's probably passed around that room if we just keeping it funky. So
yeah.
Again, nonsensical, immature simpletons go to shit like that. Oh, he's a woman abuser. Let's look through the crowd and let's see who has domestic violence abuse, and not just like unintentionally harming someone while you're trying to get away in a 2-minute fleeing video of you running away from that person. No, nothing like that. Like beating the shit out of their wives, covering it up, sweeping it under the table, young mistresses, grooming people, grooming young men and young women. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the new craze now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So like, let's stop with the faux concern over civility.
Yeah.
Like, cut it the fuck out, man.
One person even said, I wonder what happened in the car before we even got the footage. Not beating her. She had no fucking visible scars on her. So that didn't happen.
You shouldn't even have to address that seriously. Because again, that's the thought of a deranged person.
Crazy.
It's the thought of a deranged person.
Yikes. Your favorite movie, Ray, is possibly being canceled.
My what?
Your movie, your upcoming favorite Star Wars movie.
Okay. Anyways, yes.
The movie that you want to see so bad.
The Ray movie may be canceled. Apparently, it might be on the list of silent cuts that I was talking about. There's a lot of smoke to that fire. And that Daisy Ridley may be the only one that doesn't know. Apparently, they asked her about it recently after, they've been doing all these runs with her. They brought her out at Celebration. It seems like it was full steam ahead, right? It's going to be the first Star Wars project of the new year to start filming.
Okay.
All of a sudden, she was talking to somebody, talking to Variety or, one of the shill sites, one of the shill organizations. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, yeah, hopefully we'll get there and we're just trying to work it out. And it's just like, well, hold on, man. I was supposed to start shooting this year. Why don't you know when you're going to start filming? Or if it's even going to happen.
Because they don't know that for a lot of these different films and TV shows.
That shit's getting canned. It's getting canned, bro. They're not going to put up another $200 million on a guaranteed stinker. They just don't have it to do. They don't print money at Disney. I know a lot of us thought they did. And they
may have
They were so successful at a point in time that we thought that they were impervious. That the conglomerate that was the Disney company was so impervious to any type of financial woes or mismanagement that they would just be able to print the money to get out of it. Mm-hmm. That's not the case, y'all. It's not the case. And the only thing that you have to do is look at the flagships and look how they're operating. Look at the parks. Look at Marvel. Look at the parks, Star Wars, Disney Animation.
Yeah. It's all bad.
Look at how they're... ESPN, another flagship for sports. Look how they're operating. Are they operating from a place of strength? Are they acquiring? Are they growing?
No, they're selling.
Are they spreading out? Yeah, everybody's selling and cutting budgets, begging for tax cuts. That's why they're preaching so much volume talk to you, because the only stuff that they're going to be doing on site is going to be overseas or in Georgia, one of the last places that'll still give you great tax breaks to do it. Georgia and Louisiana. That's why you keep seeing Louisiana and Georgia signs at the end of all your movies if you stay to see the end of the credits.
Yeah, no, they're definitely in a free fall and trying to grasp onto something.
All of those cut. Even comic books cut. R.I.P. to Brian Hill's Blade. Brian Hill's Blade. Yeah, getting canceled at 10.
Yep.
Because I guess that one wasn't selling, right? Wasn't selling. That was the problem. That's not the problem.
Yikes.
There's poor editorial management going on in Marvel Comics. There's poor editorial direction. The thing that I have to keep reminding myself when these runs are getting canceled is that the vast majority of the direction for that run that's supposedly supposed to be a wait and see on whether or not it's going to be a 10-issue mini or, an ongoing series that gets 35 issues, 35, 50 issues, is completely determined on that edit. It's not even on the writer. Mm-hmm. They're determining the direction that we're going to go in. And then they determine whether or not it's going to keep going. Mm-hmm. They set you on a course. They give you the fine line to walk. And then they decide whether or not, based on the performance of that fine line, whether or not you're going to continue on writing or if you're going to get your shit cut and write in a mini in the summer.
That's insane.
So they're completely manhandling the creative process and then laying the creators to the blame at however it works out.
Mm-hmm. Dune 2 is now set to surpass 500 million by Monday.
Movie kicking ass.
It is.
Movie is kicking ass.
It is. I can't even think of the last movie that's done this well. None this year.
I'm going back to see it. I might go down to the Drexler to see it in IMAX. because it's the last.
Well,
IMAX
did you
out
not
here
see it in
Columbus.
IMAX the first time?
We saw it in Dolby,
Oh, okay.
but the IMAX screen is a little bit bigger than that one. The Dolby IMAX in the Marcus has the speakers in the chairs.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get that experience, but the screen is not as big. It's big still, but it ain't as big. It's not
Plus,
the
you're
biggest
biased to the Marcus.
I am biased. That's my theater. But the AMC, Drexler, probably the only AMC I'll ever go to because they have an IMAX screen, a legit IMAX screen. But yeah. We're going to go see that again. Sure.
Fallout series. I'm actually kind of interested in this because I played a couple of the Fallout games. The series is dropping in April on Amazon Prime, which shouldn't matter to me because apparently I'm not watching shows on Amazon Prime anyway.
I'm down. I like what's going on with the video game franchises turning into TV shows right now.
Agreed.
It's really been working out well over the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. At least for me.
Last of Us.
I mean, I caught me a Halo hater on Twitter today.
Oh, Halo, yeah.
But, he kind of struck me as everything's not exactly as it was to the video game. This is a disrespectful homage kind of person. So, I hate those type of people.
It's not supposed to be exactly
it
one for
doesn't have
one.
to be a one-to-one to be good. Just don't change the lore. If you don't think something's important, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But as long as you don't change it, I'm good.
Facts.
I'm good.
Live action Titans movie in development. You ready for that? Live action Titans?
Yeah. I thought they could have did a little bit better with the storylines they chose for Titans. I did like some of the later stuff, like with Deathstroke and Red Hood with Jason Todd. I think the first couple seasons were a little convoluted, got a little bit slow, but it reminded me a bit of Doom Patrol, tonally wise. So I thought it was a good enough show to warrant maybe a
full length movie,
maybe like a straight to TV thing. No, I don't know if I'm going to the theater to see.
You're not going to the Drexler to see that?
Nah, shut the fuck up. Then now if they put it on the streaming service, they put it on Max or something like that, I'll definitely watch it.
Fair enough.
I feel like the response to that was very interesting. What I found, and y'all let me know. I guess we'll have to read through some comments here after this one so we can actually catch up on the shit that we asked them. But
we already got comments for the question.
For the question before, yeah, my fault, y'all. I'm floating right now. But the what I was seeing in relation to that article, it was from Daniel RPK. It was the leaker guy. Was a lot of people saying, "Oh, see, this is your guys' fault. You've been ragging on Marvel, and now they won't want to make more movies. Now you've given the money guys the okay to say what can be made and what can't be made. See? Okay, fine. Maybe I can accept that that's a general thought that a lot of people have online until I started looking a little deeper.
Okay.
So I bookmarked one of those tweets that I seen, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is from somebody named, I won't call their Twitter out directly because maybe this is a real person. I don't want to dox nobody, so it's cool. But it's a icon of Hawkeye. The retweet of that article says
the profile picture is Hawkeye.
It's Hawkeye. It says this is the fandom's fault, by the way, and that seemed to be the general sentiment. Is that y'all talked about him so bad, now they don't want to make more movies for us, right? Which is very anti-consumer and pro-product or pro-institution.
Mm-hmm.
So I click on this person's profile.
I'm afraid.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, they joined in August 2022. Interesting. Let me go to their media. See if I see anything. That's a meme. That's a comic book. That's a picture of a tweet. That's a picture of a tweet. That's a comic book.
Their
That's
profile
a picture of an
Hawkeye.
order. It's a picture of Lost. It's a picture of Hawkeye. It doesn't seem to be any real life pictures on here of this person. Let's go back. Oh, they're following 1,200 people and they have 331 followers. Do y'all think that along with giving a scoop like that to somebody like Daniel RPK, so you know that it's going to get out to us on one level, and then also having the counter of, oh, I don't know, maybe a bot farm, to try and scold the fan base for what they were forced into doing financially anyways, is kind of like a multi-layer approach to how Disney is approaching now having to provide much better quality and content, but for much less money because they just don't have the bankroll right now.
Sure. That makes sense.
Because now we can legitimize the fact that we're spending less money because y'all talked about the us pushing out content so much so bad, we wouldn't dare go back there. And then you got the second factor of it in social media. This is our fault. It's our fault. We shouldn't have did this.
It's a multi-layered attack.
Am I thinking about it too much?
No.
Because, first of all, that was a fucking bot account. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Anytime I see shit like that, this is a fucking bot farm account.
But RPK is not.
No, RPK is not. But I'm saying they could very easily. I believe they know a lot of times who's leaking to these leakers, and just so that they don't lose track of him or who's feeding him information, they will give him a poison pill every now and again.
Yeah.
I.e., remember that scoop from last year when they told us that big list of star-studded people was getting ready to get casted into Marvel roles,
like
Jodie
Denzel.
Turner and David Washington Jr. And it was like a big list of them. Remember, it was the dude. I am a reliable source. I do believe sometimes they feed them poison pills.
Giancarlo Esposito and all of them.